The Colorado Supreme Court's removing former President Donald Trump from the state's primary ballot. And the court says that Trump's ineligible to be president after his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol.
And this, of course, is making headlines all over the world. The ruling marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. For more on where this could go, we're joined live now by John Misick. He's the politics editor at masslive.com. Always good to see you, John. Thank you for joining us. Another day, another headline about Donald Trump. This time, we've never seen anything like this in modern times. As we were just saying, this is the first time this clause has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. What do you make?
Good afternoon, Bakari and Lana. Certainly, this is an historic ruling with the Colorado Supreme Court ruling to remove former President Trump from the primary ballot there. This language, if your viewers don't know, goes back to the U.S. Civil War and was employed against former Confederates who fought against the Union to bar them from serving from office. This language has never been used before. This case is almost certainly headed for the U.S. Supreme Court. But Bakari and Lana, cases are now pending in at least a dozen states nationwide, and other state courts could well take their cues from this.
Okay, John, what about the option to write in a candidate? You know, that exists for people who don't see their candidate on ballots.
Bakari, that certainly could happen. What we know about former President Trump supporters is that they are doggedly loyal and tenacious. The president's campaign people are already trying to cast doubt on this ruling, sent out a fundraising email off of it yesterday afternoon and are calling it illegitimate and an example of political interference. So certainly that would not be something that would be outside the realm of possibility.
Let's talk about reaction from within the GOP. We're hearing from candidates like Vivek Ramaswamy, who have a lot to say, saying he would withdraw his name from the ballot, standing with Donald Trump. Is this going to divide or unite the Republicans?
Lana, what we're seeing so far is a united front from Republicans. Ramaswamy said he wants to withdraw from the ballot. Chris Christie, who is no fan of the former president, has said that the court ruling was premature and should not have happened before the former president stood trial on charges that he illegally interfered with the events of the 2020 election. Mike Johnson, the U.S. House Speaker, Elise Stefanik, both of them Trump loyalists, have criticized the ruling. So far, we're not seeing a lot of fissures on this. And again, even from Chris Christie, a no friend to Donald Trump, who has expressed some caution there.
Okay, so speaking of Trump loyalists, let's say this does make it to the Supreme Court, where we have justices who were appointed by Trump.
Yeah, I mean, Bakari, that's the $20,000 question here. States, the Supreme Court will have the final say on this, and its ruling could actually solve this problem for states nationwide where these cases are pending. There's some analysis yesterday on whether or not the High Court will dispute the factual findings in this case. Traditionally, the Supreme Court has paid a great deal of deference to state courts in this matter. But again, there is that 6-3 conservative majority. So there is reason to be deeply skeptical, about whether the Colorado ruling would survive before the High Court.
And you talked about this a moment ago. Other states we know could follow Colorado's lead. They're already looking at it. What could that mean for key battleground states then?
Well, Lana, it's funny you should bring that up because I actually went and checked some of the key battleground states. A challenge has been withdrawn in Pennsylvania, a state that Joe Biden won in 2020. A case was rejected in Michigan, another key battleground state. There is a case, however, pending in Wisconsin, another one in New Mexico, and one in New Jersey. 2 in Florida were also dismissed. So some of the key battleground states are off the table, but not all of them. So the math is maybe a little daunting, but it's not, again, completely off the table.
John Misick, thanks so much for this.
Anytime.